Hi friends, how are you? Welcome to my YouTube channel of UPSC aspirant. Here I am going to tell you the preamble of the constitution. It is a very important topic of Indian polity, and it is very important for both exams of prelims and as well as mains. So first of all we have to discuss preamble of the constitution. Where should we bought from the preamble of the constitution? American constitution is the first to begin with the preamble. So, preamble reference is the introduction to the constitution. It means constitution is the beginning, is the preamble of the constitution. So, introduction to the constitution. So, N.A. Falkiwala is an eminent and jurist, the constitutional expert is said. Preamble is the identity court of the constitution. It is very important. Identity court of the constitution is preamble. The preamble of the Indian Constitution is based on the Objectives Resolution drafted and moved by Pandit Nehru, adopted by the Constitution. And 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976, way amended, it has three new words: socialist, secular, and integrity. And we know preamble of the constitution, it has a text of the preamble. It means a big image of the text of the preamble in the words of sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and as well as many. So apart from that, in the preamble of the constitution we have four ingredients: source of authority of the constitution, nature of Indian state, objectives of the constitution, and data adoption of the constitution. First of all, source of authority of the constitution. The preamble of the state that constitute derives its authority from the people of India, so it is called source of authority of the constitution. Nature of the Indian state. It declares India to be a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, and republican polity. And third one is objective of the constitution. It specifies justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, and objectives. Data adoption of the constitution. It is stipulate November 26, 1949 as the date. The keywords of the preamble. It is very important. Keywords has totally was nine keywords, which was and sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic, justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. First of all, we have to discuss sovereign. It means that India is a neither dependency and non-domination of any other nation, and it is free conduct its own affairs, both external and internal. In 1949, India declared the constitution held full membership of the Commonwealth of the nation, except the British Crown as headed by the Commonwealth. This extra constitution does not affect on the sovereignty. India's membership of the United Nations Organization UNO. Also, no way of the constitution limitation on her sovereignty. Being a sovereign state, India can either acquire the foreign territory and cede from the part of its territory in favor of foreign state. Second one, socialist. 42nd Amendment in 1976, we have bought socialist, and socialist in the form of certain DPSP. It means directive principle state policy is a form of socialist. Constitution has now been made explicit. The Congress party adopted itself established socialist pattern of society. The Avadi session as early in 1955. Indian brand of socialism is a democratic socialism. In other hand, holds faith in mixed economy. Democratic socialism it aims to end poverty, ignorance, diseases, and inequality of the opportunity. Supreme Court says, and India socialism is a blend of Marxism and Gandhiism. I think I like Marxism. He was written one book, and in the we know that in Telugu Ranganayakam, she was very explained in the Marxism of his book and heavily towards of the Gandhian socialism. New economic policy in 1991, liberalization, privatization, globalization has diluted the socialist and credential of the Indian state. Secular, third one. It is 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976 where added secular term. Supreme Court says secular state were not expressly mentioned in the Constitution. There can be doubt that Constitution makes wanted to establish such state, and accordingly Article 25 to 25 to 28. These are the relative articles of state, and right to freedom of religion have been included in the constitution. Constitution embodies the positive concept of the secularism. For example, all religions in our country, and also same status and support from the state of all religions. The fourth one is democratic. We already know that what is a democratic. Democratic is a one. Democratic has two types. It is a voting system, and second one is democratic means every people in India, they have to express their freedom of speech and expression. So apart from the democratic is stipulated in the preamble, and it is based on the doctrine of the popular sovereignty, that is position of supreme power by the people. Democracy, direct and indirect. Direct democracy, the people exercise the supreme power directly. In the case of Switzerland, it has four devices: referendum, initiative, recall, and plebiscite. It is direct democracy is in Switzerland, and indirect democracy or representative democracy. Representatives elected by the people and exercise in the supreme power, and the carry of the gout make laws. It has two kinds: parliamentary and presidential. Parliamentary, we have parliamentary, and the presidential, the main presidential is the American Constitution. Okay, the universal adult franchise means every 18 years old as person to right to vote, and the periodic elections, and the rule of law, independence of the judiciary, and absence of discrimination, and certain grounds and manifestation of the democratics of the character of the Indian polity. Democratic is used the preamble of the broad sense, embracing not only political democracy but also social and the economical democracy. The Constituent Assembly speech on November 5, 1949 of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar says, this is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's speech. Social democracy, it means a way of life which recognize liberty, equality, and fraternity. The principles of the liberty, equality, fraternity are not be treated as a separate items of Trinity. They are a form of union Trinity, in the in the sense that no divorce on the form. Other is defeat is the very purpose of the democracy, and liberty cannot be divorced from the equality. Equality cannot be divorced from the liberty. Not can liberty, equality divorce from the fraternity. And without equality, liberty would produce the supremacy of the few over the many, and equality without liberty would kill the individual and initiative. The Supreme Court observed in 1997 that the Constitution envisions to establish the egalitarian and social order, and rendering the every citizen social, economical, and political justice, and social, economical democracy, and Bharat Republic. And fifth one is Republic. Democratic polity can be classified into two categories: monarchy and republic. Monarchy, which means king or queen ruled by the state or ruled by the country, and republic. Republic means which already we know that the monarchy. Monarchy, head of the state and casually king or queen enjoy the herediting and the position of the uh, comes into his office and through the succession. For example, Britain. Republic, head of the state, and along the elected by the directly or indirectly by the people for fixed tenure. For example, USA. The term of the republic in our preamble indicates that India is closed head of the called and the president. He elected indirectly for a fixed period of 5 years by the prime minister. Republic means has two things: vesting of political sovereignty in the people is not a single or individual like a king or queen. The second one is the absence of any privileged class, and hence all public offices being observed to every citizen without discrimination. Okay, now we have to shift. Sixth one is justice. Justice in the preamble of the embrace three distinct forms. It is a social, economical, political. Political, it is a secured through the various provisions of fundamental rights and Directive principles. Social, it denotes the equal treatment of all citizens without any social distinction based on the caste, color, race, religion, sex, and so on. So improvement of the conditions, backward classes like SCs, STs, and OBCs, and women also. The economic, and denote the non-discrimination between the basis of the economic factors, elimination of the glaring of the inequalities in wealth, income, and property. The combination of the social justice, economic justice denotes known as the distribution justice. Political justice, all citizens should have the equal rights and equal access to all parties, offices, and equal voice in the government. And ideal justice, it is a social, economical, political, has been taken from the Russian Revolution in 1917 in Russian Revolution. And seventh one is liberty. Liberty is a means of activities of the individual, providing the opportunities for the development of the personality. Preamble, source to all citizens of the Indian liberty. Thought, expression, belief, faith, worship, and through their fundamental rights and enforceable in the court law. Liberty does not mean license. In brief, liberty concerned by the preamble and fundamental right is not absolute but qualified. And also we have ideals from the another point is ideals of liberty, equality, fraternity in the preamble have been taken from the French Revolution. It is very important. Ideals is taken from the French Revolution. It is 1789 to 1799. Equality, opportunities of all individuals without any discrimination. Equality provisions branches, three dimensions. That is equality in civil, political, equality in civil, and second one is political, and third one is economical. The fundamental rights of civic equality. It is Article 1 to 4, which is equality before the law, and sorry, it is Article 14, equality before the law. Article 15 is a prohibition of the discrimination on the grounds of the religion, race, caste, sex, and place of birth. Article 16 is a equality of the opportunities in matters of the public employment. Article 17 is the abolition of untouchability. Article 18 is the abolition of titles, and two provisions of the political equality. It is first one, no person to be declared ineligible inclusion of the electoral rolls on the grounds of the religion, race, caste, etc. It is under Article 325, and another one is Article 326. It is election to the Lok Sabha and the state assemblies to be the basis of adult suffrage. And another article of 39, it is directive principle state policy, secures to men and women equal to adequate means, livelihood, and equal pay of equal work, equal pay for equal work. And ninth one and last one of the key point is fraternity. It means sense of brotherhood. The constitution promotes the single citizenship of the fraternity system and also fundamental duties in the article 51A. Very important article is 51A, that is fundamental duties. I have already uh, teach in the before class. To promote the harmony and next point is to promote the harmony and the spirit of the common brotherhood amongst all people of India. Preamble declares the fraternity of two things. First one is dignity of the individual, second one is the unity integrity of the nation. And integrity has been added the preamble by the 42nd constitutional amendment of 1976. And we know that K.M. Munshi is a member of drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly. Dignity of the individuals, it means signifies the constitution is not only ensure the material betterment and maintain the democratic setup, but also recognized that the personality of the individual is sacred. So this highlighted through same fundamental rights and directive principle state policy, which are ensure dignity of individuals. And unity integrity of the nation embraces both of the psychological and territorial dimension of the national integration. So we have to say Article 1. I repeat, Article 1. The Constitution describes the union of the states to make it clear that states have no right to secede from the union imposing and indestructible nature of the Indian Union, aims to overcome the communalism and regionalism and casteism and linguism and also successionism and so on. Significance of the preamble. Many of the peoples are declared significance of the preamble. The first one is Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer. He was said the preamble to our constitution express what we had thought and dreamed and so long. And second one is K.M. Munshi. We have already discussed the preamble is the horoscope of the sovereign and democratic republic. And Thakur Das Bhargav, it is said that the preamble is the most precious part of the constitution and the soul of the constitution and key to the constitution and jewel set in the constitution. Jewel means it means Naganatra, right? Ernest Barker, it means described preamble of the constitution is a keynote of the constitution, and he also quoted to the preamble principles of the social and the political and theory in 1951. And also we have in the case of Kesavananda Bharati case and also uh, Biru Bari